Welcome to episode 2.3, otherwise known as episode 10 of the Mervelous journey. I'd like to tell you a quick story. I was heading to church last Sunday, and all of a sudden, something came over me saying to record something. And I was like, record what? And so I was sitting there, and then something came over me about this thing called I'm Not Normal. So I just hit my play button on my iPhone, and I just went on the way and said, I'm not normal. And days later, I played it back, and I was like, sound really good. So I'd like to share that with you guys. I'm Not Normal Part 1. There will be more next year, so just want to share that with you guys. So real quick, the word of the week is coming back in January 2015. I'm in my chamber right now just trying to come up with more words and inspire you with the words that I'm using based on my experiences. And the final episode of 2014 for a Mervelous journey will debut next week, 2.4. All Systems Go, the PT Experience, Part 2. So, without further ado, here is I'm Not Normal Part 1. Be blessed and take care. I know one person told me that Merv may look like this right now, but one day he's going to come back and he's going to shock the world. That was in high school. But now, since I step into your front today, I can tell you that I'm here. I've been waiting for this moment for almost 20 years. And now it has came. Well, I thought that nothing would held this thing that I have, but since July 13, 2014, things have changed forever. Now, if I were to say, hey, you can do this again, then so be it. But throughout the course of my life, during the late 90s to the 2000s, I was just going through the motions. But now, since I got into college, I was sitting there like, something's going on. A lot of people quitting, giving up because things didn't go right. Here I'm sitting here with a blockage on my spinal fluid, just walking around doing what I can. Knowing that I'll never get a chance at it, I just sit there. And now when you sitting there saying they wanted to quit, there's many people like me or can't even walk again, just waiting to take your spot. And you over crying about the little thing. My name is Mervelous Jr., and I'm not normal. And I will tell you why. I didn't know it was going to come with me. I didn't know it was going to be about me. I didn't know that I was going to experience this going forward in the future, in the past, and the present. But now that I experienced it, I finally have a purpose. My purpose was within time, within reach. It started in January of 2013 to where I was said to myself I was going to write a book. I was in my sophomore year of high school. And when I was going through it and everything like that, I was preparing for surgery, I knew something was going on. So I figured, yeah, I can get my foot surgery and get corrected and everything will be happily ever after. Turns out it wasn't. As going through recovering my foot surgery, I realized that something else was going on. Why was I walking like this? Minute. I told you I couldn't unless you can. Yes, you can. I'm like, y'all don't believe me. I knew something else was going on, but I just didn't know. So I'm going through my sophomore year with this issue. Junior year, senior year, just pushing through my second senior year, just pushing through. But I had one goal in mind. Finish graduation. Not long ago, between those two times, I was going through a play called So Deep. And I was writing towards getting that goal, like writing my book. Going on Live Journal, going on MySpace, going on Blogspot, etc. Until one day, I told the director, I was like, yeah, I'm going to write this poem called I'm Just Mervelous. And so I wrote it, and it got a ovation. People come with me, I respect you. People come with me like, man, you know you're going to do, I appreciate you, da-da-da-da. And I hear that one of the professors at CMU was like, yeah, that dude got something in him. He ain't saying the exact words, but a lot of people were asking about me. So I kept writing and writing and writing on blogs saying monthly updates. So this is the year of this is the year of that, this is the year of this. Not knowing that it was going to be my destiny and my calling. Another confirmation came up was in May of 2006 when I went to Beijing, China for 2 weeks for the study abroad program. I went to the study abroad program going to an 18-hour flight from Detroit to Tokyo, and then another 4-hour flight from Tokyo to Beijing. You can't tell what the pain it was. With a 6'5" person weighing 300 pounds and a cramped space for 12 hours, you can feel my pain. So I go in there, get off the plane, realizing that I left my camera on the plane. So I'm sitting here worried because I've all my life waiting for a trip to go overseas, and now I lost my camera. I had nothing to bring back, no memories, no anything. So the professor and the other students were taking pictures for me. And then the next we went to the apartment and we went to sleep. Went to the apartment, going there, the bed was hard as a rock. It was hard. I'm like, man, no cushion, no anything. No cushion or anything. And then I went in there and, check out the bathroom. There's all this Mickey Mouse stuff over here, this Minnie and Mickey and Donald Duck and everything else. I'm like, man, I'm in the kids' room. But I realized as I learned the culture that most people in China, they grew up on the culture and they love American stuff or whatever. And then the sink is on, and then the sink's right here, and the shower head's right there. I was like, oh. Realized I was beat Mervelous in China. And when I came up there and on the second day, I had to go to the bathroom, eat over there, everything goes. I hate to be graphic, but go there. So, you know to handle my business or whatever. Sit down. And I'm like, okay, da-da-da-da. So I go up and get up or whatever. And I tried to get up because everything was so low. So, I was at a picture of it, but I didn't have my camera. And then I went and picked it up, and then the top of the commode fell into the bowl, and they pushed a hole in, and all the water fell out. I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, man, I cannot, handle my business. So fast forward to the 5th or 4th day. It was a calligraphy class. And we had a lady that didn't know me who spoke straight Mandarin. Straight Mandarin, no English. And she sat there and tried to teach us calligraphy and write in Chinese. I'm like, oh, this is really good. I do all the characters and everything. It feel like it's a success or whatever. So everything is going pretty good. And then, one by one, she takes our names and write our meanings for the name. And so, it was 3 of us. It was 4 of us. All engineering students. I'm engineering tech because they just started engineering program. So, the first one was the professor. He got a name, she wrote it down, and she couldn't figure it out. And so what she did was she wrote the characters all over the place, and that was the first professor. I'm like, man, he's got a brain, son. Then the second one was a lady. He tried to write her name and everything like that, da-da-da-da. Want some characters. And again, it was scattered all over the place. I'm like, this ain't crazy. She's trying to think we scattered brain or something. I'm like, man, I'm not crazy. I'm like, man, I wonder what she's going to get to me. What's she going to write about me? You know, I'm black and I'm in China. Everybody loves me because I think I'm a basketball player. 6'5", no matter how I walk. I'm like, man, what she gonna put? So then she gets to the third person. The third person comes up, and she was scatterbrained. I'm like, oh, man, okay, so I'm getting nervous. And then she gets to me. I'm like, oh boy. And then she had a smile on her face. I'm like, what are you smiling for? Okay, you want me? All right, let me get back. And then she does this huge thing of color and huge thing of characters. And I'm sitting here like, man, she's seeing something in me. I didn't even know it. And then I come through, and the lady talks to the translator, and she said, great author, writer. Great. My last name was a great author. And my name was a writer. The lady didn't even know me. She just took my name and thought of who I was. Never always follow your calling. And I'm like, man, what am I going to write about? I am trying to be an author.